friends, I am in a different place than usual today. If you are a previous viewer, if you are new here, welcome. My name is Jamie. I'm the yarn dyer behind m1yarns.com, and this is episode 114, or give or take, of M1 Yarns and the Michigan Makers podcast. And I am coming to you today from a hotel room in Traverse City, Michigan. Usually, if you don't know, I live in Metro Detroit, and I'm in Traverse City this week for a couple days to do a little bit of planning stuff to do with the Fresh Coast Fiber Festival that I'm organizing, that will take place right here in downtown Traverse City at the very end of May. And sorry if there's like a little bit of an echo, but my hotel room has hardwood floors and it's a hotel room. So, you know, we've got like the lovely beige wall. I'm sitting by the window so I get a little natural light. It is currently 5:40 p.m. in mid-February. Yes, I'm drinking coffee, albeit decaf, because it's 5:40 p.m. And there is just something about a cup of coffee or a cup of anything when you're like away from home that is so nice. So I drove up here today. This is a mostly knitting podcast, but occasionally you get story time. So buckle up for the story time. So I drove up to Traverse City from Detroit today to take care of some like planning stuff that had to do with the festival. And it's been such a beautiful day. It's like 50 degrees. The sun was shining. It's a little cloudy today. I'll insert a little footage here of the view from my room. So I am staying at the Delamar Hotel right in downtown Traverse City. And although I've only been here a short time, I will say that if you are looking for a hotel to stay at while attending the Fresh Coast Fiber Festival in May, this is not a bad choice. Yeah, so I thought I would brew a cup of coffee because I'm technically, you know, on vacation, although it's a working trip. That's fine. It doesn't matter. And I have been meaning to record a podcast episode for like a whole week, and life has been lifing. I have not been able to record. So I thought, you know what? I'm bringing my knitting anyway, obviously. If I get, you know, maybe 30 minutes or so, I'll just record an episode. I can edit it when I get back home and throw it up on the YouTube this weekend. It's fine. It's fine. So here we are. So I'm going to pull up my iPad while I'm chit-chatting so that I can pull up the patterns that I'm going to talk to you about, because let me tell you, so at the beginning of the year, I had this idea that I was going to, for 2026, try to be a monogamous knitter. And by that, I mean one project at a time. That was so boring. And also, the one project that I was knitting on, I got gauged when I gauge swatched, but by the time I got it down to, it was a pullover. So you can go back a few episodes and see it, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't matter. By the time I was about ready to bind off at the waist, I tried it on, and I was like, I thought it might be a little bit oversized, but this is a lot of oversized. And I was like, this is not going to work. It was a yarn that I was going to launch on my website this spring, which does not make a lot of sense because it's kind of a bulkier yarn. And I have another bulky yarn that I wanted to launch this spring. And so in essence, like from a business standpoint, I should launch it late summer. So why am I knitting this sample of something in this yarn that I really should be launching later? But that's a whole other story. Anyway, so the short version is I knew I needed to frog that project, or at least put it in timeout to come back and reevaluate. So I needed to cast on something new. So I thought, okay, why don't I start with, this is all like since the last episode, which was like 3 weeks ago. A lot's happened. Why don't I cast on like a little bite-sized project? Because that could be a fun palette cleanser. So I cast on Andrea Mowery's Shiftalong, and so that I can make future me's job easier for editing, I'm just going to show you rather than like insert photos here. So bear with me. So I think I had told you about this before. I had bought one skein of yarn while attending New York Sheep and Wool last fall. And it was this skein, and this is Primrose Yarn Co.'s Homestead Sport. And the colorway is, and the lighting is a little weird, so forgive me. Desert, painted desert, I want to say. Why did I only buy one skein? It's beyond me. Sorry, I have like a piece of fiber or something that went in my nose. So I was kind of limited on what I could knit. So I thought I would pair it with some leftover yarn from another, oops, I'm just throwing yarn around here. Now it's like on the other side of the tripod and I can't get it. Hold on, bear with me. This is gonna be a little bit of a feat to get this yarn ball that went flying. Okay, so I had this yarn, which is 100% baby alpaca in the colorway wine that I hand dyed. And I thought that this would pair pretty nicely together for this hat. So I cast it on, and within like a couple days, I had this going. I'm loving it. It's bringing me joy. Well, it was bringing me joy to have something new, but that also, instead of me wanting to then focus monogamously on that, made me like want to cast on all the things. Do you ever have that? I feel like when you cast on yarn, you have to be, casting on is like a special energy. So I was like, okay, well, let me sit here and actually think about what samples I need in my booth for my upcoming show season. And I had two main things. I have a sample knitter knitting something else. Shout out to you, Kirby. But I had a couple other things that I've been wanting to knit, and I was like, okay, maybe I should be focusing my energy on that. This is the thought process of a yarn dyer. You're like, what do I need to do myself? What can I get someone else to do? What are my deadlines? You know how it is, because knitting for me is not just like I'll knit it and when I finish it, I finish it. I'm on a schedule because of my show season. So, and that's fine. No complaints. So the first thing that I also cast on in the last few weeks, and I've been wanting to knit this pattern for a few years. Early Bloomer by Heidi Kermeijer. Sorry about the glare. So this is DK weight. And I've been waiting for the right yarn for this. But I knew that basically this was going to be the year, and I wanted to showcase it in new colorways. This is not a totally new colorway, but I have not dyed this on all my bases before. This is Oatmeal, and this is slightly darker than my Beach Sand colorway, which is like a great neutral. And then this is Cherry Capital, which is brand new for this year, and it is in honor of Traverse City being the cherry capital of the world. And I think that these two together are just beautiful. And I loved that the red would make like really pretty flowers like in this floral motif. So I cast this on, and this is only, I've only gotten a little bit through it, and it's not even blocked, so it looks all scrunchy. So you're probably like, Jamie, that does not even look good. Yeah, it really doesn't, but you get the gist. This is only 2 nights worth of knitting, and I'm actually really loving it. And I actually think the pattern is one of those you cast on a provisional cast on, and then you knit the whole sweater, and you come back at the very end, do the ribbing, bind off. But I modified it to cast on with the contrast color, do the ribbing, then launch into the body of the sweater. And this is my Easy Rider Superwash DK, Superwash Merino. This is Chef's Kiss. Love it. I'm so glad I cast this on, because I was kind of like, my knitting mojo is at a high, but if your pattern mojo is not matching your knitting mojo, you know what I mean? Like, you have to have complementary energy. And this pattern is great. So that kind of helped me when this other project, which I never even told you what it was. If you were watching old episodes, you would know, but I will tell you, in case you're new, it was the Himalaya Slipover. And let me tell you, all that ribbing was kind of grating my nerves. I think knitting ribbing like that is okay when you have another project. So if you're not in the mood, you can like bounce back and forth. But I didn't, so that's that. So yeah, I think the red is such a beautiful, like, rich, kind of brown leaning red, I guess. And as I'm looking out the window, watching rush hour traffic in Traverse City, and this hotel is like amazingly soundproof. I cannot hear traffic at all, which is awesome. Let me talk about the festival for a minute before I tell you about the next pattern. So probably in the next like week or two, I'm going to start, I think I mentioned this last time, newsletters are going to start rolling out. So if you haven't already signed up, you can sign up on the festival website, which is freshcoastfiberfestival.com. And then also tickets are going to go on sale soon, like in the next few weeks. I just have to finalize like 2 little things on my ticket website platform. And then this special Friday night event that I've been teasing for a few weeks, that's going to launch, and that is super, super exciting. And I can't wait to tell you more. If you don't already follow the festival on Instagram or Facebook, you definitely want to do that, because lots of exciting news is constantly rolling out and is going to like pick up momentum now that we are only, let's see, March, April, May, 3.5 months from the festival. So really exciting. So yes, I wish I could tell you so many secrets that I'm keeping, but like all in good timing, right? because if I tell you it, then you're going to be like wanting to get your ticket and all that jazz. So this is the hard part about being an event organizer, because you want to share all the dirty secrets and you just got to wait for the timing. But anyway, okay, so the last thing that I cast on recently that I've been wanting to cast on forever is the Dopio Sweater, which is just a classic crew neck raglan construction. It is a bulky weight. It's by Sung-Hee Hong. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And basically what she writes in the pattern to achieve gauge, it's a great like multi-strand project. And I've always thought that this would be fun to showcase yarns where you might want to like buy a couple skeins of what's the word I'm looking for? Souvenir yarn. You know, when you're at a festival and you're like, okay, I'll buy 2 skeins, but I don't know what I'm going to do with that. If you have those 2 skeins and you pair it with something maybe that's already in your stash or something else, great. You know, that's how you can buy just 2 skeins of something that you like and then pair it with something down the road and make something awesome. So she writes in the pattern that basically you could do 2 strands of fingering with 1 strand of lace, or 1 strand of DK/worsted plus 1 strand of lace, or whatever combination thereof gets you gauge. So here's where I was thinking this would be fun as a like showcase for new yarns in my booth. So this is both a new colorway and a new yarn base. And this is actually a fingering weight woolen spun. So it's very warm and very light. And this is a new colorway called Sky, and it's honestly not showing up on camera. That's not bad. That's pretty close as far as like what I'm seeing. That's Sky, new colorway, woolen spun fingering weight. This is fingering weight 100% llama, and I've been looking for the right pattern for this for a while. And what I thought was I could make little combinations where instead of things being matchy or like super scrappy, like you have to be wild feeling to love it, I thought complementary might be fun. So keeping in the blues and blue-green family, I paired these. And then this is Oatmeal, just like that other yarn I just showed you in the early bloomer sweater. Oatmeal. I love how it looks on mohair. So this is mohair silk, lace weight, and I'm holding all 3 together, which I often hear new knitters say they're scared of knitting holding multiple strands together. And I get that. To me, it is about ball management. The easiest thing to do is make sure that all your balls or cakes or whatever you got are floating around in a space that they can move. And honestly, the cheapest, easiest thing to do is a cardboard box. Like if you got an Amazon delivery yesterday, which you probably did, keep that box, fold in the flaps, put your balls in the box, let them float around in that box. Or also I really like a plastic tub, like a tote. Those are good. Project bags can be okay, but sometimes they'll be too restricting. So I have mine in this project bag. It's a, medium-sized project bag. Sometimes I just have to yank a little hard, but my balls are just floating around. They're not getting twisted. It's no big deal to hold all 3 strands together. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm holding all 3 strands together for every single stitch. And let me show you what it's creating, because I'm in love. Look at that. It's kind of getting washed out on camera. But how beautiful is that? The blue with the turquoise is just kind of like creating dimension, which is why I said complementary pairings is the key. So if you had like a dark blue and a light blue, or like a red and a pink, or like a violet and a lavender, so kind of in the same family, or even like a red and an orange would be cool, black and gray, brown and tan, and then throw in something, whether you want to warm it up or cool it down with maybe like a silver or a white or whatever. These two could even be paired well with like a hot pink, or even a purple would be fun. I mean, I have so many ideas. My brain is just like, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, so the concept was basically to show these yarns together. And this is about a week's worth of knitting. I'm trying to show you which way. This is the way. They're short rows. So the back side is higher than the front side. I am, how many, where am I? I'm trying to find my spot on the pattern. Of course, I don't have my reading glasses on. I am, no, I'm not on that part. I'm on this part. I'm 12 rows away from separating for sleeves, and I've only been knitting this a week. Love that. Love that for me. So my point of choosing these yarns together in this pattern is light and super warm, lightweight and super soft, and super warm, but super soft. And mohair silk wrapped around these will give them structure so that this won't pill. This will create a little halo in addition to this one's halo. And this sweater will last for decades. So this sweater and this sweater have totally brought back my mojo, my joy. Not my mojo, because my mojo was good, but the joy I was feeling over my patterns, my pattern success. That's what I mean. I feel like that should be the thumbnail. Yeah. Oh, I told you this is sky. This, another new colorway, in addition to this being a new colorway. This is Cherry Capital. This is Grand Traverse Bay. And right here, I'll insert a photo of Grand Traverse Bay that I took today because it was so beautiful. And yes, I promise you, when you come to Traverse City in May for the festival, it will not be frozen like this. But today, we're in mid-February. It's beautiful. Can't be mad about that. Spring is coming. Now I feel like I'm going to lose my stitches on this sweater. I am already. Bear with me while I put my stitches back on. So that's what I've been knitting these days. I also have another cardigan that I want to cast on, and that's also new yarn, new colorways, but I forgot the yarn at home. I meant to bring it so I could show you. So I am planning on launching it no, it's already launched. What am I talking about? It's not a new yarn, it's new colorways. That's what it is. A lot going on. My big sexy base. Let me say that again in case you thought you misheard me. Not my big sexy face, my big sexy yarn base has new colorways. And I'll insert some photos here. But these are new colorways, new to the shop, new for 2026. And I want to knit a cardigan. So that might be new on the needles soon. And I do have another project. Hold on. Just kidding. I left it at home. I think I told you guys last episode that I was knitting this, the Eva Cardigan by Petite Knit, and that's going well, but I don't have much progress on it in the last couple weeks because of, you know, everything else. It's fine. So I'll share more with you on those next time, but I really just thought I would give you guys a little project update and share with you that I'm in Traverse City, which I'm so excited about. I'm planning to be up here a couple days to do some like festival stuff, but also I just honestly needed a little getaway. I've been working really hard. You know, sometimes you have to you gotta stop and smell the roses. And I thought, I'll come up here and either go skiing or snowboarding or snowshoeing. I brought my snowboard. I brought my snowshoes. I don't know if the weather is going to be too nice for those things, but we shall see. And other than that, I'm honestly just going to enjoy a little getaway. And I know a lot of people don't really love to travel alone, but for my fiber festivals, I travel alone a lot and I really like it. And you meet interesting people. And so my husband stayed behind with the dogs. He couldn't take off work. And I was like, you know what? I just want to go. I want to go and I want to spend a few days doing my own thing. Get out of town. And honestly, it's been really beautiful so far, and it's only been today. So maybe I'll insert a little more footage from what I'm up to over the next couple days. But yeah, I hope that you will come to Traverse City in May for the Fiber Festival. We are fully booked up for vendor booths. If you are a vendor and you are interested in being on the wait list, definitely send me an email. That's fine. I think at the top of the episode, I talked a little bit about, I just can't talk today. My Fiber Festival season is starting soon. So if you are attending the Ann Arbor Fiber Expo in March, I'll be there. And YarnCon in Chicago in April, I'll be there too. So I hope you are doing well. And until next time, bye.